Right, so let's talk about trendMARK 2014. Before I get to that, just watch tonight's special assignment. I don't want you to forget about it. Tonight at 9:30, the show that I host on SABC3, it looks at, well, trigger happy policemen. So police brutality covered tonight, 9:30 to 10 o'clock. And then, of course, tomorrow afternoon, I get into discussing issues of the day in the afternoon talk show from 2 to 4. Right, Oresti Patricios with us from Ornico Media. But you want to talk to me about trendMARK 2014. Hi, Oresti. What's it all about?
Hi, Ashraf. How are you doing?
I'm good. Good indeed, yeah.
Yeah, what this is about is a collaboration between Mark Lives and a couple of other players in that trend space, such as Dave Duarte, Flux Trends, etc. And we've looked at really kind of collaborating with a whole lot of people to give the latest trends going forward, specifically for marketers, for news brands, for product brands, etc.
All right. Why so? What I'm saying, you've looked at it and you've put it all together. So you talked about Trend Lives in terms of what they've done on the online side. Dion Cheng's done these other things. In fact, are you coming together in a bigger compilation of sorts?
Yeah, yes, we are. I think we want to try and make this as a definitive trend magazine. It's an online magazine as such at this stage. It's beautifully laid out, and it gives just snippets of the trends for this year, what we believe the trends are. It's more curated in terms of what are the most common trends that are happening at this point in time.
All right, so tell me what in fact is... So let's get this right. Is it a publication? It's a book, right?
We have printed some books. We gave them out at our launch, but it is online. It's online at Mark Lives or at Ornico, and people can download it free of charge. Okay,
so what in fact are we going to find there?
I think there's a couple of things. Firstly, Dave Duarte has defined what is a trifle, a trend, and a truth. Because I mean, it's really sometimes how do you define what is a trend? So you kind of in your marketing campaigns going to start looking at a consumer trend, and ultimately it ends up being a trifle. So you waste a lot of money. So he's defined what a trifle, a trend, and a truth is. So that's one of the things. Herman Manson has then looked and says, what do we learn out of the ad land and some of the advertising trends that are happening both in South Africa and internationally, etc. We've looked at Africa trends, and Google from our Africa division has looked at what is happening within Africa and some of the African trends, and are we leaders and are we followers? And from an Africa perspective, I mean, she shows that we're really leaders in many of the fields. So that's it in essence.
How does this, because I mean, ultimately it's information for people who are involved in I would think, marketing that is gold to them. How does this differ from what's been established before?
Well, what it is, it's putting a lot of the trend thinkers all in one magazine. When you're looking at the Flux trends, it's all in. If you're looking at Dave Duarte, you're looking at the Ornico trends. They're all sitting in one definitive magazine instead of being split all over the place, and I think that's what makes the difference.
All right. Anything interesting that came out of there that even got you thinking, wow?
Well, I really liked the way, as I said earlier, the way Dave Duarte has actually defined trends, trifles, and truths. I thought that was really a great definitions. From Flux, he really talks about the retail disruption, and it's really about this online, offline. No, it's not anything new, but really from an Africa perspective, how Nigeria is really taking on this online model and taking it to the next level. Specifically because they have, number one, a huge traffic problem. So because of the traffic problem, it kind of makes it a lot easier for people to shop online with Jumia and get it delivered at their offices or their homes instead of actually running around to the malls or to some of the shopping areas in Lagos. And I found that really, really interesting.
You see, I think that's an interesting one for many South Africans who are considering doing business in Africa. Let's get this right. on the African continent north of South Africa, right? And they really don't know. Many of them are there already. How much of those different experiences and nuances comes through in what you're talking about, besides what you just mentioned about Nigeria?
Look, it's a huge difference. I mean, each African country is very different. So Africa is not a country, it's a continent made up of 54. And this you've heard, I'm sure, hundreds of times. And our experience in Nigeria, because of the traffic, when you're ordering online in South Africa, the delivery of those goods becomes quite expensive. So that's what holds us back in terms of online shopping. Whereas in Nigeria, it's not as expensive to actually deliver those goods. Where it does become a little more expensive is in terms of bandwidth. So the bandwidth in Nigeria is a lot more expensive than what it is in South Africa. But a lot of people are online, whether they're online on mobile, specifically on mobile, or via the internet. They're online and they're transacting. And as we know, in Kenya, the mobile money is a lot more prevalent than it is in South Africa. So yes, there are different experiences in the different African markets.
Okay, tell you what, I'm happy if you can tweet the links to my Twitter handle, so I can actually retweet it as well, so people can get access to it. But otherwise, I mean, they can get it on your site. Just give me the website addresses.
Yes, you can get it on the Ornico site or on the Mark Live site. And people can download it and spend time reading through it, because it's really some really interesting information.
Okay. And certainly for people in marketing or consumed by that, absolutely must read. Let's leave it at that. Oresti, thanks for your time once again. I'm sure we'll chat soon. Oresti Patricios, the CEO of the Ornico Group. So there you are. I think check it out. And Ornico Group and Trend Lives, you will find it. But also, you'll tweet to me just now.